Jack Doherty was arrested the other day, and quite frankly, I'm not really that surprised. Although I am kind of surprised with what he got arrested for and why he got arrested. So today we're going to be taking a look at that. If you don't know who Jack Doherty is, he is a streamer mostly known for being obnoxious. Not because he's horrific, right? There's plenty of streamers who have done some pretty bad things. Jack Doherty, for the most part, he's mundane, he doesn't do anything that bad, but he's just so insufferable that it's hard to find anybody who likes him, and I'm not even sure if the people who watch his stream actually like him or if they hate him, and that's why they watch his stream. It's kind of hard to watch his stream too because he's been banned from pretty much every major platform, and I believe now he streams exclusively on Party. And if you don't know what Party is, it's basically just Kick or Twitch, but just slightly worse and less well known. I'm not sure why anybody would ever willingly stream on Party if they weren't banned for everything else. He does have a YouTube. I don't actually know why he doesn't stream on YouTube. His last stream was a year ago. My guess is that he's just worried about getting this banned as well. And his YouTube channel does okay, right? It's not the best YouTube channel out there. It's not the worst. He does have 15 million subscribers, and his last video got 50,000 views in 5 days. So that says a thing or two about Jack's career. Well, his career just went downhill a little bit more because he was arrested. That's right. Here's his mugshot. And if you want to see footage of him getting arrested, we have that here. So let's take a look at this video and see what happened right after you hit that like button. Seriously, it really helps.
What? No.
I got him.
I got him. Hey, yo, you don't want to go neither. Back up. I'm just saying I got him. Back up. Don't worry about it. Back up. Yo, back up. Yo. Chill.
Let's sidewalk now.
It's kind of crazy to me how his bodyguard seems to think that he can stop the police from arresting him. If you watch that, he kind of like tries to step in between the police and Jack. And that's a really stupid thing for him to do because he should be arrested. Quite frankly, he's interfering with an arrest, but doesn't seem like he was. I guess the police let him get off, but he tried to get in the way. The police told him get out of the way, and eventually he did, and Jack got arrested. You can see Jack here is just constantly looking at his phone and not really paying too much attention about being arrested. But then once he does start getting arrested, he seems to be a little concerned and then immediately replaces that concern with humor, as if he can't believe that he's actually facing consequences for his own actions.
Go to the sidewalk now. Go to the sidewalk now. You want to go with him? You're funny. Go to the sidewalk now.
You want to be funny? You try to get on the street, go on the fucking street. I know who the fuck you think you are, bro. No, you're fucking not. He was trying after I fucking do it. Who the fuck are you, bro? I was trying to walk up the street. Doesn't matter, bro. All you had to do was get in the fucking sidewalk. That's it.
Now this cop right here is giving Jack something he desperately needs, a dressing down. Jack definitely needs some other older father figure type man in his life to tell him when he's doing bad things and when he's acting wrong and put a check on his ego. Doesn't seem like he has that in his regular life, because if he did, he wouldn't be doing stuff like this. And as the guy's yelling at him, you can tell he's just basically pissed that Jack Doherty thinks that he is better than literally anybody else. Jack Doherty thinks that he can just ignore the police, that he's better than the police. The cop's very annoyed by that. And if you actually listen to what he was saying, it sounded like the reason that Jack was arrested was he was streaming in the street or recording something in the street. I believe that he was either streaming or recording a video while standing in the street, and the police asked him to get out of the street, and then he said that he wouldn't. Now, I don't think there's actually footage of that initial thing. If there is, I haven't seen it yet, but that's the story that I've seen, that he was in the road, kind of blocking the road, recording something or streaming, and then they tried to arrest him and he wasn't cooperating with them, and that's why he ended up with the resisting arrest charge. But like I said, that's just based on what I've heard.
All you had to do was get in the fucking sidewalk. That's it. You want to be funny? That's it, bro.
Free JD. Free JD. You're great.
They're trying to make a video. Everything gotta be some goddamn content, man.
So yeah, Jack Doherty ended up getting put in a police car and taken down to be booked with some charges. Obviously, I should disclaim that just because he's charged with stuff does not mean that he is guilty of it. He has the right to be innocent until proven guilty in the United States of America, and so you should presume him innocent unless and until he is found guilty in a court of law. That being said, what exactly was he charged with? Well, let's take a look here. In this TMZ article, Jack Doherty, social star arrested in Miami Beach by TMZ, we can actually see the full thing. He was cuffed by Miami Beach police outside a smoke shop and booked into Florida's Turner Guilford Knight Correctional Center just before 9 a.m. on 3 charges: possession of a controlled substance, possession of marijuana, and resisting arrest. Specifically, cops say he was in possession of amphetamine, a medication used to manage ADHD and narcolepsy, and less than 20 grams of weed. Video of his arrest shows him arguing with police. He has a bond set for $3,500, and they say he has not yet satisfied that. That was at the time they wrote this article. He has since satisfied that. As we can tell here, he posted his own mugshot, said first day out. So he's obviously paid his bail and he's out. out now. That being said, these charges are no laughing matter. In most places, right, getting caught with less than 20 grams of weed isn't a big deal. He's in Florida. They treat weed as a very big deal down there still. I mean, it's a Schedule 1 drug, whereas I do not believe, based on what I read, that the ADHD medication that he had is a Schedule 1. It's just a controlled substance. It's not good for him. These things can turn into big problems for him. I think more than likely he's just going to end up paying some fines, but who knows? I don't know what kind of priors he has. I don't know what else he's got going on. This could turn into a serious legal issue for Jack. It couldn't happen to a nicer person. Honestly, my only question for Jack Doherty is, if you're walking around and you know that you're in possession of different drugs, right? You know that you have these drugs on your person, because unless he's arguing that somebody snuck the drugs into his pockets, he must have known that he was carrying these things on him. Why wouldn't you just listen to the police, right? If police are coming up and just asking you to get out of the road before they arrest you, why don't you just get out of the road? If you know you have this stuff, this illegal stuff on you, why won't you just listen to them? By not listening to them and by arguing with them, all you're doing is getting yourself in more trouble, because if you just listen to them and walk off the side of the street, they don't have any right to search you. You can walk away and get off scot-free. But since he decided to argue with the police and they ended up arresting him for it, well, they searched him. And evidently, during their search, they found that he was in possession of controlled substances, because I don't know where else they could have found that. It's just so dumb. If you're committing a crime, right? If you have something illegal on you, the rule of thumb is don't commit any other crimes. If you want to get away with doing one bad thing, don't do any other bad things, because it's usually the second bad things that get people arrested. Like, you know, all the time you see these people on the body cam channels who will be driving through a stop sign, or they'll be speeding, or they'll have a tail light out, and then the cops eventually get them to pull over, and they find all sorts of crazy stuff in the car, and the person ends up getting charged with massive charges, all because even though they knew that they had stuff in the car that could cause them serious legal problems, they couldn't stop themselves from breaking the law in tiny ways. And that's how most people get caught, right? They get arrested for one thing, and then during the arrest, or as part of like a search for the arrest, they find something else on you. And that's what happened to Jack. They found something else on him after they were arresting him for walking the street. At least it sounds like it. Again, I'm left questioning why anybody would do this. If literally all they're asking you to do is to move out of the street and stop recording in the middle of the road, why wouldn't you just walk away? Because that would have saved you so much trouble. You could have avoided this. He wouldn't have a mugshot if he just did what they asked and didn't cause a problem, and he wouldn't have gotten arrested. It's just one of those things that people do all the time that completely baffles me. I've never understood why people feel the need to commit multiple crimes at the same time. That being said, I'm not saying that he actually committed the crimes. I'm just saying allegedly committed the crimes, because obviously, as I mentioned earlier in this video, he is innocent until proven guilty. And I just want to remind you of that. Everybody in America has the right to be innocent until proven guilty. And as far as I know, Jack has not sat before a judge and had to stay in court yet. Although I think with the charges being minor, it'll probably be pretty soon that he has a court date for it. And I wouldn't be surprised if they give him a plea deal, because they're all pretty minor things. And so they'll probably drop the resisting, and they'll drop one of the drug charges or something. Or maybe they might drop them all down to a lesser charge just to, you know, make it move through the courts faster, and he'll end up with a fine. That's my prediction. He could also very well be found innocent. I mean, I don't know what he had in his pockets. He might have had nothing, and they might have misidentified it. Who knows? Anyway, let me know in the comments. Are you surprised to see Jack Doherty get arrested? I don't think too many people are, but if you are, let me know. Thank you so much for watching all the way till the end. Remember to like and subscribe. Have a great day, and God bless you.